Her star shone brightly until tragically it was extinguished far too soon.
I definitely can say that I'm a truly happy young person. There's so much more that I want to do in my career, and I'm going to work hard to do.
At only 22, Aaliyah was already an accomplished singer and acclaimed actress. Perhaps more important, she was a gracious young woman and cherished friend, one that will be dearly missed by everyone she knew and all those she touched.
I've got good friends. I've got a beautiful family. I am truly blessed, and I thank God for His blessings every single chance I get.
Join MTV News as we remember the short but celebrated life of Aaliyah. Hi, I'm John Norris. The music world has been engulfed in grief following the tragic death of Aaliyah, the 22-year-old singer and actress whose future had never seemed brighter or more promising. Government officials are still investigating the crash of the twin-engine Cessna 402, which was carrying Aaliyah and her 8 associates when it hit the ground and caught fire just after taking off from Abaco Island in the Bahamas. We've got so many special stories and remembrances to share with you over the next half hour from people who knew, respected, and loved Aaliyah. You'll hear from her boyfriend, Damon Dash, Hype Williams, the man who directed her last video for the song Rock the Boat. That is the clip that Aaliyah had been shooting in the Bahamas and which she had just wrapped before boarding that ill-fated flight. We'll also hear from Puffy, Timbaland, and many others. But we start with a fond and fabulous look back at an entertainer who seemed to dazzle her peers and her fans every time she stepped out in public.
Some stars have a very unique way of capturing their audience without saying a word.
MTV 20, live and almost legal.
I watched MTV since I was as young as I can remember, you know what I mean? So to be a part of this is great. Very excited. I love it.
Aaliyah, we talked.
I'm excited too.
Are you really? Tell me
him.
about some of your earliest memories of MTV.
The first album I bought was Karma Chameleon. Yeah. I was obsessed with you, so it's a big deal for me.
You and me.
But we always wanted to dance. I always liked the way she moved. She was always so smooth and so fluid. And I was like, you know what, one day we're going to rock together.
The 2001 MTV Movie Award.
When we were at the MTV Movie Awards, he was like, here's our chance. We could finally dance together.
You want to dance?
Yeah, let's dance.
You want to dance?
I want to dance. All right?
It was just natural because she was just, you know, everybody keeps on saying that she's just a kind, sweet, beautiful person.
She's the best. She's so friendly and nice to work with and so down to earth. I was very impressed. But I gotta say, I was hip to it before because everybody that's ever dealt with her said the same thing.
We did a show, MTV Icon, a tribute to Janet Jackson, and that evening, Stevie Wonder had also come to the show, and Stevie said on his way out, was there any way, his representative said, is there any way Stevie can meet Aaliyah? So one person he'd really like to meet tonight. So I went to get Aaliyah, and I said, someone wants to meet you, and I'm not going to tell you who, and she was completely up for it. I mean, I could have been taking her to run across the contest winner for all she knew. And just the moment where she came around the corner, and it was she and Stevie, and she was someone that was respected not only by her audience, but by peers and people that I'm sure she perceived to be icons.
The 2000 MTV Video Music Award.
Best female video, ladies and gentlemen. The award goes to Try Again.
Wow. Yo, this is a shot. This is a big shot. I just started filming Anne Rice's Queen of the Damned in Australia, and my brother and I flew 22 hours to be here just in appreciation of the nomination. So thank you so much. Thanks to MTV and to the fans for your love and support. My brother said, I love you. You're my everything. And thanks to God for His blessings. And I dedicate this award to my grandfather and to the memory of my grandmother. Peace. Thank you.
She could definitely light up a crowd. But unlike some other entertainers her age, Aaliyah kept her personal life quiet. And if her poise and class were a throwback to an era that prized glamour and elegance, those who knew the private Aaliyah describe a young woman who always had time for fun with her family and friends. They include everyone from Jonathan Davis of Korn, just one example of the broad scope of Aaliyah's musical interests, to her cousin, who also happened to be the president of her record label, Jomo Hankerson.
No, harmony boo. We just literally act a fool, and I love it. It's like being a kid. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to just be pure silly.
From 3 years old, you heard Aaliyah sing. You know, she used to love walking around the house doing Whitney Houston songs, and she liked to sing. We always knew that Aaliyah could be something special. She came out the womb special.
I had a birthday party like 3 years ago. Mark Ronson was DJing, and he gave her a microphone, and she sang happy birthday to me. And it was something that was very intimate, you know, where her just kind of looking at me with the microphone, just like right there.
She told me all about like how she loved my songs, and she's totally giving me props, and I loved that. I thought that was cool of her. She really dug it.
You know, one thing that sticks out in my mind about Aaliyah is just the way that she would greet everybody. She always greeted you with a smile. It wasn't nothing phony about it. It wasn't like she was acting that way. It was that's just the way she was. She just always hit you with positive vibes.
Aaliyah was our princess, our superstar. She was just as great as she seemed to be. She was really probably greater than that.
Truly a special lady. When we come back, we're going to take you back through the amazing career of Aaliyah in music and movies, and we'll hear from the colleagues who worked alongside her and learned to love and admire her too.
Who should be heard? Baby, let me know. You 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 let me know.
Able to attend a first-rate public school for the performing arts and had some serious family ties to the record industry. Her aunt was R&B superstar Gladys Knight, and her uncle a music business executive who would introduce her to R. Kelly. And by the time she was 15, the result of that meeting was pure platinum.
Older now, maybe, you know, young, but I'm not going to say exactly how old because I don't feel it should, you know. I don't think it really should matter that much because I want people to really just accept me for my music.
With the sound soulful and sophisticated beyond her years, Aaliyah broke into R&B in 1994 with the aptly titled Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
That was my first video, so it was very exciting. At first I was nervous because it's something I never experienced before. It was a very, very, very great experience because I always wanted to do this.
Your smile, your style is so fly, I can't deny.
She was already a video vet before recording her second CD, but no longer R. Kelly's protege. Aaliyah teamed up with hip-hop hottest producers Missy Elliott and Timberland, who helped give her a new signature sound.
Before I went to the studio, I was very nervous about it, but I talked with my family, and they said, Aaliyah, you know, you calm down, you put your all into it, and that's what really counts.
Riding high on multi-platinum sales, she was invited to guest on several albums and soundtracks. In her hit single, Are You That Somebody, puts the Dr. Dolittle soundtrack past the 2 million mark. But it was a song from her own movie that scored her a Grammy nomination and 2 VMA Moon Men.
Who should be heard? Will we remain for
This summer, Aaliyah's much-anticipated self-titled release debuted in the top 5, sure to be her most successful album and a fitting musical legacy to define her as an artist.
I really want people to get a sense of who Aaliyah really is with this album. You know, there's a side of me that's very dark and very mysterious, and a lot of the tracks on the album are like that. And this one is really me in totality.
But music alone wasn't enough to keep Aaliyah occupied. While others dream of movie stardom, Aaliyah's allure and camera-friendly charisma made her a natural for the big screen and led to her starring in a major hit film. It seemed certain that there would be more acting successes on the way, as we heard from those who watched her work.
Gotten a few offers as far as movies are concerned, but I haven't really chosen anything yet. When the right role comes along, I think I'll know.
Sure enough, she did. Aaliyah's explosive big screen debut in the urban-flavored martial arts flick Romeo Must Die drew high praise from both the MTV audience, the film chalked up 2 movie award nominations, and critics who lauded her performance opposite action star Jet Li and fellow musician-turned-actor DMX.
Hey, what's up, Trish?
What's up, sir?
Let's talk.
All right.
We had a scene one day where she had a talk about to Jet about her brother dying, and she had to really break down and cry. And you know, a lot of times on these movies, what they do is they have a little menthol that they'll blow in the actor's eyes. It makes the actor's eyes tear up a little bit, and they kind of put glycerin on their cheeks so that it looks like they're crying. But she didn't want to do that. She wanted to do it, and she reached down somewhere, and she was incredible. She found this place to be this incredible actress and person.
Romeo producer Joel Silver was so impressed with Aaliyah's talents that he signed her up for not 1, but 2 sequels to the Keanu Reeves blockbuster, The Matrix. The status of those films, yet another uncertainty in the wake of a senseless tragedy.
There was some preparation for some footage, but her work was to start late in the fall, and she was so excited about it. I talked to her a few weeks ago, and she was just so excited.
I was looking forward to seeing her in Matrix and like all the other stuff she had going on. She's an awesome actress.
And Jonathan from Korn is also producing the soundtrack to Queen of the Damned, the film version of the Anne Rice novel that Aaliyah shot last year. No word yet on when we'll get to see Aaliyah's final acting performances. When we come back, deeply personal stories from the family, friends, and fans who knew that Aaliyah truly was one in a million. Role in Aaliyah's life, her boyfriend of 1 year, Damon Dash, partner of Jay-Z and CEO of Rockefeller Records. An understandably distraught Dash spoke on the phone with MTV News' Sway.
Every day, like, that we were together, we cherished, you know what I'm saying? Like, every memory, every day was a special event. Like, whether it was going to the store or going to a movie or just sitting in the house. We just, you know, wherever we was, it was like our own little party. We were in our own little world. But I loved her with all my heart. I was going to marry her.
So you guys made plans to be married?
Yeah, we were definitely going to get married. As soon as she had time, we were getting married. Like after the Matrix. We hadn't discussed it with anybody, but in our personal plans, it's just that both our lives, you know, whether she was always doing something or I was always doing something, that was what was painful. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the minute we could spend a month or 2 or 3 straight, we were definitely going to get married. And, you know, we were together for over a year. I never raised my voice to her. I never had an argument with her. We never argued about anything because there was nothing to argue about. I would do anything for her, anything to protect her from any kind of pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she became one of my family. She was my family. She was my best friend, and she was the closest person to me. So my heart is broken. trust.
There were, of course, so many others that Aaliyah touched in her 7-year career through her music, her movies, and her unquenchable spirit. Here now are the thoughts of just some of them.
She had an old soul, sure. She came out grown. You didn't necessarily know exactly how it was going to be, but you just knew she was going to be something really special from day one. Absolutely. She never really walked into a room. She just lit the room up. But not like in a I'm the star way. It was more like whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like there's something about her. I just always believe that if the chance came back around, we would work well together. We grew to be friends outside of working.
She was a fantastic girl, and it's just a horrible concept that we're sitting here on MTV talking about that she's gone, when it's horrible, horrible.
She's like blood, and I lost blood, you know what I'm saying? Her creativity is so, me and her together had this chemistry, and I feel like I kind of lost half of my creativity side. You know, it's kind of hard for me to really get up and talk to the fans right now, but I feel like they need to know, you know, that beyond the music, she is a brilliant person. She's like the specialest person that I've probably ever met.
I just think everyone should realize that Aaliyah loved all of her friends, and everyone who was on that plane was a great friend. And it's a tragedy on every level. Even though she was a movie star and a great performer, you're going to remember her as a beautiful human being. And that's the way I'll remember her. We're all better because she was here. And it's just a shame that she's not no more. Really, I can't get beyond how we're going to make it without her.
Many of us here at MTV also considered Aaliyah a very lovely and joyous part of our family as well. In her 2 short 22 years, she lived her dream and loved her fans, and like you, we'll miss her for a long time to come. But you know, I guess if there's any comfort at this very sad time, it's that Aaliyah is and ever will be remembered, just as she told us not long ago that she would want to be.
It's hard to say what I want my legacy to be, you know, what I want people to say when I'm long gone. At this point, right now, I'm going to say that I want people to see me as an entertainer, someone who can do it all. I have to honestly say that everything is worth it. The hard work, the times when you're tired, the times when you're a bit sad, the good moments when you're on stage performing in front of thousands of people. In the end, it's all worth it because it really makes me happy. And I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. I honestly wouldn't. There's nothing better than loving what you do.
Oh,